Yep. Hey, it's Aaron from GameEnthus.com, and this is a video for Moebius Empire Rising, which is described as, has been described as the spiritual successor to Gabriel Knight, the old Sierra game. Here's a bit of exposition, so I'll be quiet and let you take in all the exposition. That sounded funny, yeah, I'll be quiet. Well, seeing as how there's really no audio, there's sound, there's no one reading anything. I just want to point out that this comic style exposition and the mother being attacked by a lion completely came out of left field for me. I don't know if that's based on something else I'm just unaware of, but wow, yeah. So she's calling him Kai. His name is Malachi. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Blam, blam. I thought those are gunshots. So, before you see more of the game, maybe you have already, I don't know. This game harkens back to an older style of point-and-click adventure. If you've been playing the new games during the more recent renaissance, if I can use that word, of the point-and-click adventure, things from Telltale primarily, and even Double Fine. Why can't I think of the name of the game they just put out? It's escaping me. It'll pop up on the screen. But Broken Age, there we go. You know, there's certain tropes that these games have attempted to avoid, and sort of reintroducing the genre back to the masses and saying, okay, here's something we haven't really done for a while, but we've changed it and tweaked it in this way. This game sort of does that from what I've played, but not really. It kind of, there's still some interesting, like, old school kind of tweaks to it that I think I can appreciate a little bit because I grew up playing a lot of Sierra. So I was a big King's Quest, Quest for Glory, Space Quest guy. I dabbled in the Gabriel Knight stuff, so I'm not going to be able to make all the comparisons that I would like to. But I don't know. It's kind of refreshing and then kind of like, wow, it's old. Anyway, let's jump into the game. So you end the comic strip exposition as you're a grown man. Obviously, you're able to defend yourself. Malachi Rector is somewhat of a, what's what I'm looking for? Kind of a prick. You'll see.
Malachi, you're back.
Just landed.
Are you alright? What did the doctor say?
Lots of bruising, but there's no permanent damage. Don't fuss.
Malachi, you were in the hospital in Spain for a week. A man who evaluates antiques for a living should not have to worry about getting beaten by thugs.
The chest Senor Perez was trying to sell was a fake. It's hardly my fault he took my evaluation badly.
Yeah, he
You
did.
need to take security on these jobs. Some of these sellers are dangerous people, and you excel at pushing people's buttons.
I'm honest, and that's precisely why my clients hire me. Is there any urgent business?
I have a few things to fill you in on. Let me know when you've had a chance to settle in.
All of our
I've
items
settled.
are one of a kind and in excellent condition. I do have a reputation to maintain.
Don't you love clicking on stuff and having the characters tell you things
We're
about
right
them?
on 7th Avenue. Excellent visibility and good foot traffic. But most of the walk-ins take one look at the price tags and quietly leave. Fortunately, most of our business comes from private clients.
That pill bottle in the upper right,
That cabinet is worth a bloody fortune.
he uses a
Is
lot
that
of
only me?
medication throughout this game. I almost felt like it was that was like the save animation. He always be popping pills over the counter, but I think still he might have a problem. The walking is kind of weird because you really don't know where you can walk and where you can't. I found that to be a little funky, but it's not a big deal. But
We should catch up on what's been going on while I was away.
Let's do it.
yeah, let's do it.
So what's the next assignment?
You just got here. You probably haven't even been to your penthouse yet.
That wasn't the question.
Fine.
He's a piece of
There's
work.
a supposedly undiscovered Rembrandt in Rome for Sotheby's, and 2 pieces in Egypt for Rutherford's.
Take them both.
Malachi, you just got out of the hospital. You should let your body rest. At
She looked
least
really
long enough to
scary
get
right
used to a
there.
time zone.
Wow.
Precisely. Please, come in and sit down.
So I'm kind of skipping through to kind of show you some of the things that lead up to how the game kind of gets going.
Before we discuss the job
You can tell
we
that
have
the
in
graphics
mind,
aren't
I hope you
like,
won't object to a simple
phenomenal.
exercise.
It's a little,
Oh, I'm afraid I left my performing monkey hat at home.
Please don't.
yeah,
take
it's
it
a little
like
funky
that. I think
sometimes,
as a
but
historian, you'll find it quite fascinating.
you can get past it,
I'll think about it.
maybe. One aspect of the game is analyzing people. It's one of the things you do. You analyze antiques and things throughout history, but you analyze people and other objects. So you can click on people and you just have to sort of pick the right options, and it kind of furthers the story along and allows you to put the pieces together if you do them successfully. You know, successfully, yeah. And then you'll have a folder. Everything is done sort of like in your phone. That's why everything's like the phone interface. And you analyze people and you want to compare them to historical figures based on key things. Like, Giuseppe Montecero here. You want to liken him to someone from the past in order to help you put all the pieces together. Doing it correctly is also good. Sorry for the brief spoilers, but I can't show the game without showing the game. So the map interface is how you move around. Just click on a location, and if you're able to go, you go. This is how I saved my game. I don't know why I included this, but it's here. So, very excited.
That must be Detective Brunetta. I wonder
This
how
is out of
Brunetta
context,
got the
but
Italian police
play
to
the
work
game,
with me.
you will see it.
There's definitely more to this than Dexter was willing to tell me.
Their husband, Dante Cardolo, is an important man in local politics. They're above reproach and also innocent in my
Their
opinion.
personal hygiene? What? So, you'll talk to a lot of different people. There's already preset questions, not really options. Pretty much have to ask them everything in order to progress.
Arrivederci.
I'm afraid I must get back to work. In times of fiscal
The game
crisis,
starts off very
we cannot
slowly,
allow this
but as
sort
it
of
progresses, the point and clickiness, if I can use that, it increases. So you begin, well, at least I started to feel like, oh wow, this is like something I
Before
remember.
you ask, the house has plenty of rooms. Bianca liked having her own sanctuary. We were happily married.
I would be the last person to judge such an arrangement. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, telling me that means you're definitely happily married. Yeah.
Goodbye.
Tell me about Bianca
And Stan Lee
Cardolo's
is also in the
husband.
game.
Dante Cardolo. You know, he is from the Capetian family,
Baroque.
just like Bianca's father.
You travel all
but
over the world.
they are
okay?
distant
There's a lot of
cousins.
different
He
people.
was very popular in Venice. He could have gone far in politics, but his support of the EU at any cost has the common people very angry.
In addition to people, you also have to analyze objects, figurines, things like that, which is what Malachi does for a living to begin with.
Well, I think fit the general circumstances.
How he got involved in all this is kind of interesting. He's resistant, but in order to have the story progress, he ultimately had to agree. But you can tell it's really building to
From
something.
today, and for some reason had the idea that it must be
We even
worn
talked
by
to old
you
people.
and no other.
Oh,
Who
signore.
like jewelry.
How could you have known, eh? I had a similar necklace that I wore for many years, but recently, well, I was forced to part with it. Told me, but
And young people.
Bianca was very worried about her looks. She was not
Not so many young
confident.
Bianca now to attempt my analysis.
Paintings.
I could get my leg that high, but then I'd have to kill you.
Wow. Jeez. Even play darts. International darts. So this is a brief slice of Moebius, Empire Rising. I enjoyed the game. What I played
I
it,
could use some sleep.
but ultimately, I have to say that I don't know if it's everyone's cup of tea. I think somebody who played older point-and-click adventures would probably get a lot more out of it than someone who's only played maybe from Sam & Max to The Wolf Among Us or Broken Age, because it does kind of maintain those older tropes, and it just doesn't really look that great. But underneath, putting some of those issues to the side, there's still a good game there. It does kind of start off slow, but once it gets going, it does get interesting. So I don't know. You can read the full write-up on GameEnthus.com. I guess that's it. Leave
These
comments if you
overly
haven't.
large gloves are interesting,
Thanks for watching.
but I don't need to take them with me.